Just you. I forgot to add myself.
I bet that fake.
I was waiting for you to take over. Well, we're off to a good start today.
Yeah, we are.
We go live and it's just a big picture of you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're here, guys. It's Sunday. Dudes who bet. Maybe I scratched. That's what it was. I'm in the scratching mood.
That's what it was. At the last minute.
I threw the chalk and ran home. Okay. Well, we're here. It is Dudes Who Bet Daily. It is a Sunday. And we do have the brooms out because we had a sweep yesterday. That was nice. We'll talk about that a little bit later. It is Sunday. We always recap kind of what happened on Saturday because it's always so good. I'm going to go basketball first. I'm going to let you talk basketball first because what can I really do with horse racing? But we'll talk about it. Basketball, college basketball, there were some great games yesterday.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Listen, there was a bunch of them. I was gone all afternoon, so I didn't really get to see any of the afternoon much. Got home around, I don't know, 6, about the time the OU game started at 7, and watched basketball up till 11 probably. Mm-hmm. And first of all, I've got to compliment you on Gonzaga. Wow. Okay, they're back. They're back. Let's just go on the road and beat the two best teams in the West Coast Conference and not even have a struggle.
No, beat the hell out of both of them.
Just beat the hell out of both of them.
Yeah.
And solidified probably a number 4 seed, I would think by now. A lot of people thought, okay, they lose those two, they're not going to be in the tournament. Yeah. Which was dumb. I think they would have been in. Now they may be a 4 or 5 seed, right?
I mean, I think when the new polls come out, Gonzaga is probably going to be in the top 20 at least, if not higher.
Maybe top 15.
Yeah.
They needed 2 signature wins to get their mystique back, and I wouldn't pass on them in this tournament coming up. They're red hot, and that's what you look for going into the.
Yeah, I mean. And again, I told you that was Thursday. I loved Gonzaga in that game. Loved him. And I was telling all the people that follow college basketball, they're like, that's not a smart pick, dude. And I was like, I'm telling you, they're back, And I kept telling people, I was like, look, if they can go to Kentucky and win, they can go to the Chase Center where it's probably going to be a split crowd and beat San Francisco, who they beat every year, right? And so yesterday, I'm like, I'm going to roll with them again. Why not? Like, how many times have they went to St. Mary's over the years and won? Like, come on. And so I didn't think it'd be that easy last night, but it was.
No. So that was, to me, I think that's the biggest news of the day, maybe.
Yeah.
The Oklahoma-Houston game was a phenomenal basketball game. OU just played as well as they can play. They can't play any better. Let's put it this way. They can't shoot any better. Mm-hmm. I think they had 12 threes.
Yeah, they played great.
Just kept coming at Houston. And there's a reason why Houston is number 1. There's not very many teams. If OU played like that with that atmosphere, they wouldn't have won that game. And they just kept making clutch shots to stay ahead of the OU.
Yep.
And then made an impossible shot there at the end. This ball bounced their way.
Well, I thought Houston. I thought OU was going to beat him. It felt like it was going to happen. And I think the score was 82-80. And the kid from Houston jumped and shot from the damn logo and nothing but net 3-pointer to make 85-80. He's like, no, this isn't going to happen. They're too good. And
they are.
Like I said, the play at the end, the ball's bouncing everywhere, and the guy, their best player gets it and makes a shot. What are you going to do?
The difference between, to me anyway, this Houston team and those in the past, they can shoot the ball.
I was just going to say what's impressive is they can win a game 87-85, and then they can go win a game, 52-51 if they need to.
I guarantee you in that locker room, that Houston locker room after that game, and if they gathered today for a meeting, he probably gave them today off. But if they gather today for some sort of a meeting, he's going to be on their ass about defense. I can just hear it.
Yeah.
Guys, we didn't guard. And
he was so mad last night. He literally took his shirt off at one point. I don't know if you saw that. He it was talking about Kelvin Sampson here. He was so pissed off.
Oh, he was. And I don't know if you saw the interview with him with Barry Trammell, the OU beat writer.
I haven't seen it yet. No,
Well, he wasn't the beat writer, but he was the sports editor of the major paper in Oklahoma City. He had an interview with Sampson. It's hilarious. So he hadn't changed a bit, Aaron, not one bit, and you got to listen to it. And anyway, it was a tremendous game. Just really fun to watch. And we've said this over and over. Everybody's been on OU. They're not talented. They're not very good. Well, when that 3-point shot is going through the basket, guess what? You look really good. And if they had missed those shots like they've been doing, they'd have got beat by 30 points last night. But they were going in. It was contagious. They got to rolling. This is the effect a crowd can have in a game. That was the nuttiest place I've seen all year.
Yep.
It takes something like that to get those Oklahoma idiots fired up. Here comes Kelvin back to town.
Yeah.
So let's get in there and just go crazy. And that's what you want every night,
One of the guys we talked to all the time was there last night, Pedlo.
Yeah.
He texted me, he said, white shirt right behind the scores table. So I look up, there he is, Pedlo, right behind the scores table in a white shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was
jumping up and down, thinking we were going to win that game.
It was a great game. And, that may have pushed OU into the tournament, that good loss like that. I'm still not sure they're in. I think they might need a win in the Big 12 tournament. I don't know. A lot of the Big 12 teams lost yesterday that are kind of, TCU TCU was ahead, I think, by almost 20 at the half at BYU and got outscored 58-29 in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to kill them. That's a bad loss when you're way ahead. So be interesting.
I think the other headline is Tennessee went to Alabama and did it. They beat them.
I just was going to mention that next. Yep. That was a huge win for them. Mm-hmm. Will they get a number 1 seed if they win the SEC tournament instead of Arizona? They should.
I think they're going to.
I mean,
and I don't think they have to win the NCAA. Or I don't have to. They don't have to win the SEC tournament.
I think they have to win a couple of games, though.
Well, yeah,
I don't
true.
think they can get beat in the first round.
Yeah, I will say though, a lot of times we go into those tournaments and we're like, okay, they just do this and this and this, and then they really once the seeding come out, it's like, oh well, that didn't matter. A
lot of times they don't, and I think that's a good thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it tells me the committee, they look at the regular season and they value more than just a game where you just can get beat. In basketball, you can get beat anytime. It doesn't matter. And there's OU playing like crap going into that Houston game, and they did everything but win the game last night against the number 1 team in the nation.
Yep.
And, that's the way it is. You got to be ready every time and now, Houston's number 1, so everywhere they go, they got that monkey on their back. I'll make a prediction right now. I bet you they don't win the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, no, probably not. I mean, you get in those tournaments, you just never know what's going to happen.
It's in Kansas City. And
I think usually I would say, well, Kansas will probably go do it. I don't think they're very good. So I do think that helps that Kansas isn't very good.
Right. There's a little team up there from Ames, Iowa.
That's going to listen. That is going to be all Iowa State people the longer that goes.
They travel. That's not very far.
Well, my buddy, big Iowa State fan, Paul, was in Orlando for a business meeting this weekend or coming up next couple of days. And he went to the UCF game yesterday. Iowa State was at UCF in Orlando there. And he said, you take out the student section. It was mostly red in that building yesterday. So they're fired up. They're excited. They're going to bring a slew to Kansas City because they're coming down thinking they can win it.
Well, and the best break they can get is if Kansas loses early, and then you can go buy all of Kansas's tickets.
Yeah.
The Kansas fans will suddenly sell their tickets.
Yep.
And the Iowa State people can jump on those and pack that place. If they can get that far as well, they may go down in the first round too. You never know in this tournament. It's going to be tough.
I'll never forget when we went to the Kansas City to go watch that game. We went Texas Tech, coached by Bobby Knight, beats Oklahoma, and then we watched Oklahoma State in Kansas, and Oklahoma State beat them. And so we leave the place, and there's hundreds of Kansas people selling their tickets for the next day for the because they got beat, and so that's what's going to happen for sure. Once Kansas is out of there, forget it. Those people are gone.
Yeah, and that was in the old Kemper Arena.
Yeah,
it seated
cool
19,000 up in Kansas City, and 18,000 of them were rooting for Kansas.
I know. Yeah, and Oklahoma State beat them. That was a hell of a experience.
Oklahoma
for sure.
State was so good that year.
Yeah, they were really good. They were. Let's change gears quickly. This won't take long. Horse racing. It did happen yesterday, Kentucky Derby preps. There are more happening today. Is that it? Can we move on?
So the Fountain of Youth had 4 horses, right?
Well, it had 5.
It had 5.
Yeah.
But the race ended with 4.
No, right? There were 6, and then one scratch,
6.
So it's down to 5.
And Speakeasy threw the jockey.
Right.
So that got it down to 5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so then Dornoch did not run well, but won by default. How about we say
that? Yep. That's very good. That's very good. We'll say that.
He won because somebody had to.
Pretty much. I mean, he was challenged by horses that weren't very good. And, I mean, I don't know that he switched his leads, but it was really late. And I mean, everybody. I kind of had to almost mute myself on the live show because everybody's like, that's so good. And I was like, Jesus, that was horrible.
Yeah.
but like, oh no, yeah, he'll get better off that. It's like if he wins the Derby, it's like
I know. But he did win. So
it's a win. It's a win. Yeah. And look, he's probably going to get better in his next start. So
but it is win. So it's a win. So
yeah.
That's all you can say.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other race was in pouring down rain. So
now
a good race and a good win.
I do want to be clear. I thought Deterministic looked really good winning. Who did he beat? What does it mean going 1 mile in March? All these things I don't know the answers to. How was the track? I mean, it was an absolute disaster looking at the track. That was a very, very nice win for Deterministic. I thought he looked very good. Yeah. So I'll give him that, Also, they ran the Battaglia at Turfway, and I thought Encino ran very, very well. I haven't, analyzed it a whole lot yet. I'll do that this afternoon, but I thought he was okay as well. So, I mean, there were a few positives. But then you fast forward to today. What do we even watch it? I guess we watch it for our bets, right? That's it. Like, Nisos is out. It's a 4-horse field. I mean, it's a sad state. I've been following the sport for a long time now. I'm old enough to say that now, and it's just awful right now. The Derby trail, it's awful. Yeah. So,
well, I mean, the events that are happening, it's just making it like the trainers and owners. The Derby's not that important anymore. That's one thing, and
it feels it sometimes. Yeah.
And the other thing, you don't know whether to believe Baffert, why Nisos scratched. You don't know, and if he put that horse in there to scare away everybody else, so one of his can win. That's a conspiracy theory.
Well, I mean, you look at it though; it's one of two things. It's that what you just said. Yeah. Or the horse is injured, right?
Yeah.
I mean, either one isn't good.
Yeah.
I mean, if he really entered that horse to scare everybody away so one of his other horses can win, I mean, that's probably the reality of that happens sometimes, but that's not great. It's a terrible look. And if the horse is hurt, that's not good either. I mean, because you do want to see him run. I know he can't run in the Derby, but at least like Nisos in the Preakness against the Derby winner is kind of interesting, and hopefully he's okay, I guess, is where I'll leave it. Because I have no information. I have no idea what the deal is, but I guess we'll find out on that one.
It's not good. We couldn't have bet on that race anyway today.
No,
he'd been 1-9.
No, he was just a single and move on, and now
that's right.
I mean, I guess imagination would be my pick now, but I don't know. So.
Who knows? By the way, let's don't forget at the end, Shoddy had a deal on potato salad.
Yep. We're gonna get to that.
We'll
I've got it earmarked here.
Okay.
So,
All right.
tell you what, that's the most important question. So let's just run through the rest of the stuff we're gonna do, and we'll get back to that. All right. No, we do need to get going. Let's run into it here. We're gonna go first off with Bradley. This is a horrible day for sports. I'll just say it. But so we won't spend much time on it. But Bradley at Drake was the one I picked today for college basketball. Drake is a 4.5-point favorite at home against Bradley. Who you got?
Well, you picked a great game. I mean, this is
honestly, if you like basketball, it's a big good game.
It's a great game. And the Missouri Valley has 3, maybe 4 teams worthy of the tournament. Drake's one of them. Indiana State's the best of the 2. And then Bradley's right there. And Bradley's playing great. I got it at 4 this morning. It was 3.5. So this is surprising me that this is going the way it is. The thing that scares me about Drake, and again, I didn't play this much into it, but they're trending downward a little bit, and Bradley's playing at a peak at the moment. Drake took 3 overtimes to beat Illinois Chicago the other night. Now, it was on the road. And, you got to sit around and just say, okay, do you just kind of draw a line through that? And that's one of those middle of the week games where it was kind of a trap game. That's what I did. But Bradley just killed Southern Illinois, and they're pretty good. So they're coming in here red hot. Here's why I like Drake. They are damn tough to beat in Des Moines.
Yeah.
And this is a huge game, and I like them a lot. But 4.5 is a little sketchy. If it's close, Bradley might beat them. I think Drake might have to get them by 10 or so. I don't know. I know that doesn't make any sense, but if it's close, I think Bradley might be the better team. I think Drake's going to have to win by 10 or so. I do. I know that doesn't make any sense, but I know it doesn't, but I just feel like
you lost me.
If the game's close, that means Bradley is as good as Drake. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
I do. But I like Drake at home. They really are tough at home. And it's a big game for them. So I'm going Drake to cover.
I'll go Drake. I think the home advantage, that's just one sport, basketball, whether it's NBA or college basketball, that home court makes a huge difference. So I'm going to go with Drake minus the 4.5. All right. These games are tricky in the NHL today. Devils at the Kings. The Kings are minus 130. So you can get the Devils at about plus 110 right now. What do you think about this game here in LA?
Well, you're on the Devils, so I automatically respect that because you watch all the time.
I've kind of jumped off of them.
Well, what I was getting ready to say was, if you hadn't said you were on the Devils, this is a no-brainer for me.
It is for me.
And they haven't been playing very well, so because they're not, I got to take the Kings.
I took the Kings. When I said that, I was like, okay, here we go. This could be a team that's getting ready to get going. They're starting to play a little bit better, and they have played awful ever since I said that about them. So I'm on the Kings today. I thought about it for a second. It's like, it's plus money on the Devils. No, they lost at Anaheim. They've been losing to teams they shouldn't lose to. So I'm going to go the Kings. This one's okay. I have to talk about the Jets for a second. So the Jets minus 120 at the Sabres tonight, or today, I think it is actually. Total sits at 6.5. I bet Winnipeg plus 120 yesterday afternoon in Carolina. They got behind 3-0 going into the third period. And so I've just kind of got it. I don't have NHL Network. It's one place I can't watch hockey. So I've just got it on my phone. Winnipeg scores 3 goals in the first 5 minutes of the third period to tie the game and wins 5-3 in Carolina. Incredible comeback. Tonight, they're at Buffalo, a team that just killed the Vegas Golden Knights yesterday. So I thought this was such an interesting game. Can the Jets keep up the momentum? Can the Sabres keep up the momentum? What do you think's going to happen here?
The Sabres they're not bad. They're not bad. So did you jump on the Sabres? Did you take them today?
I took the Sabres.
You did?
Yeah, I'm not going to bet it, but I picked the Sabres. Yep.
Okay. I like the Jets. I think they're pretty daggum good. That was a tough game for them, though, last night because they had to come from behind, and Carolina's really good, and it was on the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much does that weigh into that? I think
that's my thing. It's like, my goodness, can they really
yeah.
They're either going to ride that hot momentum or they're going to not play very well.
What's their backup goalie like?
I think they'll be fine in goal. My biggest worry is they really kind of got dominated for a couple periods of that game, obviously, and so I don't know. I think I am really confused on what to do with this one.
Yeah. We got a fight going on here in the chat. I don't know if you're noticing this.
Oh, this is one guy trolling and wanting you to get mad.
I was going to say,
all that
is.
Come
in here and defend you. I was going to come in here and help you, but you're holding your own real well.
It's clearly obvious. He just came in here to try to get you guys mad.
Yeah, he's an idiot. So forget him. I'm taking the Jets, but you know what? I wouldn't bet a nickel on this one. This is going to be a tough game for them.
Yeah. I'll take the Sabres. I'm more just intrigued to see how this unfolds. May live bet it if I kind of have a feeling one way or the other, but it's going to be a very interesting game today. All right, let's get back to the horse racing here. We're going to go Santa Anita race 8 for the race of the day. It is the big cap, Santa Anita handicap, and boy, how the mighty have fallen this race. It's not great compared to what this thing used to be. We've got a field of 7 here. It's borderline sad, but here we go. Who do you like in the big cap?
I can't wait to hear your analysis. I can't.
Okay.
Because I kind of know who you took.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know why. I don't see it. So that's why you're the expert, and that's why I'm not. I have to take the 7, Newgrange. 2 straight wins. I think they're both grade 2s, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I just think if he brings it, he may get out in front and they don't get him. So I'm going him, and I like the other new horse, the 5, Newgate, as well.
Yeah, the new horses, I think very much could be in the mix. I think those are kind of your 2 to beat. I think both of them, especially Newgrange, he is really hot right now. Those 2 wins in a row. I think he is the one. That being said, I went.
There we go.
This is this is such a bad pick. I think Reincarnate's going to win. I have this feeling he's going to win the race. I picked number 1 Reincarnate over number 7 Newgrange. I just feel like he's going to stalk today, and he's going to go by in the last like 16th. So I picked Reincarnate first, Newgrange second today. I can't describe. I just think he's going to run a big race. I really think he is. I think he's better than what he's shown.
If we were at the track together and he pulls this out of a hat and he goes, "Who do you like?" And I go, Newgrange or Newgate. I like one of the new horses. And he goes, "I just have a feeling Reincarnate's going to win this race today." Oh, this is so great.
I just feel like he's going to do it. I do. I think he's going to run a huge race. I just have this feeling. I sometimes these races when Baffert kind of gets rode off, he comes up and wins, and it's usually his other horse. And I just look at Newgrange and I go, I think he's good, but I don't think he's great. And I think the other Baffert's going to get him. I went Reincarnate. So we'll see. I went deep in this race. I thought this was a really tricky race for 7 horses. Yeah.
Highland Falls is running really well.
Yeah, I don't mind the Highland Falls pick.
He's got to take a big leap.
Yeah, Pratt jumped on Salesman, and it's a cutback, but hey, maybe, maybe. Newgate, like you kind of mentioned, he's a nice horse, no doubt.
He's got a couple of good seconds.
Yeah,
and one was really, really close to Newgrange. He's second to him, so looks decent. And the thing with Reincarnate, he was a good horse at one time.
Was he? Probably not.
Well, you're picking him in this. You see, guys, this is what we go through when we go to the track together.
Was he ever?
Yeah, he just now picked this horse in this race. And then I said, he once was pretty good. And he goes, was he ever? And then I sit there, and when we decide to do pick 3, pick 4, whatever, we have to include this horse.
Yeah. Bree's asking what odds do you think Reincarnate are going to be? He's 8-1 on the morning line. I guess 6-1. I don't think he'll actually go off at 8-1. I'm going to guess 6-1. I think he'll be good enough odds, Yeah, I mean, there were times he really made us look good, right, Michael? This is probably not one of those days, but I just didn't want to bet Newgrange at a short price, and I think the deal of it is I am confident Reincarnate's going to get a really good trip and spot, and I do think he's going to turn for home, and you're going to feel like he has a chance. So we'll see what happens. Right. Rodney loves Imagination today in the San Felipe. I mean, I don't know how that race is going to be bet. I think he'll be the favorite maybe, but I'm not sure on that. So we'll see what happens on that one. Any final thoughts before we move on?
No, it's classic. This is classic.
We'll see. It's just one of those things, man. I just have a feeling he's going to run huge in the spot. We'll see. All right. I hate that race, and it's like, we'll take a shot with him. All right. I'm going to go Laurel, or Magic's going to go Laurel Park, race 7, number 7, Take a Hint. Boy, I know you probably didn't watch it. His horse at Laurel yesterday looked awesome. I mean,
this is the strangest horse I've ever seen. The strangest thing.
Okay, so he picked Intrepid Dream yesterday at Laurel. I think it was the 7th or 8th or 9th race. This is 9th race. And so we were live and we were watching, and they broke from the gate. This horse is twice the size of every other horse in the race. We're like, oh my God, this horse is huge. And that jockey was standing straight up on his back. Like, we're like, oh, this horse is going to dominate. And he did. Or is it a she? I don't even know. But anyway, so he's going to go back to Laurel. Long story short, he's going to go Laurel Park, race 7, number 7. Take a Hint for his best bet today. And he is kind of the Laurel king. He does a really good job at Laurel. So we'll see what he could do. All right, story time for me. I'm going to go Oaklawn Park. That's bad, number 1. Race 4, number 5, Impel. Now, listen, if you remember, you probably remember, Papa Dude, I picked a horse named Tipsy Tammy.
Yes. Yes.
3 weeks ago, right?
Yep.
Okay. It was her second start, Tipsy Tammy. I got a tip from my boy Ryan Stillman that Tipsy Tammy was really good. She got beat on debut by Impel, and Impel beat her by 3 1/4. A really sharp-looking Brad Cox debuter. Okay, Tipsy Tammy came back, dominated on the day I said, the maiden special weight, came back to win. By the way, Tipsy Tammy running today at Fairgrounds if you want to try to give her another shot in her 3rd lifetime start. Impel, we've been waiting. She's back today. Oaklawn Park. She takes on a field of 7. There are some good horses in here. She's going to have to run well to win. I think she's the real deal, though. So I took number 5, Impel, in the 4th race today at Oaklawn. All right, Papa Dude, tell us who you like.
Well, I went 7-2 yesterday, and I'm really fired up and didn't have anything to bet today. So I went to the MAC, the MAAC.
Okay.
And there are 2 games in that conference today I really like. And if I was you guys, I'd seriously think about maybe make a little 2-team parlay, but I didn't do it. The first one is Marist. That's right, Marist. Mm-hmm. And they're playing Iona at home. They're 16-10. Iona's been playing awful. Marist beat them at Iona before. Marist is playing good. If you say that kind of basketball is good, they're playing pretty well. I love them today in this one at -3.5. The other one I like is Niagara at -2.5 against Mount St. Mary's, I think. And Niagara plays real well at home. And I like them as well. But I'm going to go with Marist. I think they're a better team than Niagara. I think they're more trustworthy. So give me the Red Foxes of Marist at -3.5.
All right. Red Foxes of Marist -3.5. All right. I'll acknowledge you. You need attention, Chino.
Yeah.
So Chino, first of all, just if you want to hear, he talked about the game for like 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's
Chino,
number 1.
Listen,
number 2.
Your ass up right now. Okay.
Number 2, it's OU basketball. We don't care. Number 3, we love Kelvin Sampson.
Yes.
Papa Dude probably roots for Houston more than Oklahoma
I
when
love
it
him.
comes to basketball. 4, you've been here for years. We've always been super nice, supportive. We love Houston. We're glad you're in the Big 12. I don't know why you're coming in here like this today. It's so weird.
You're not pissing anybody off, but you're
we don't care. We don't care.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I wanted OU to win, but I love Houston. I wasn't real upset.
No.
The reason I wanted them to win was so bad was they played a great game. I love their coach. And they needed this one to solidify their place in the tournament, which they really need to get in.
This would be the last person. You've been around for years. I can't believe you're coming in here and acting like this. It's crazy to me that you're.
Yeah, we love Kelvin Sampson. 2 of our favorite players ever to play at OU are on the coaching staff. We love his son, who's on the coaching staff.
I mean, I'm shocked, and you know all this because we've told you all this. It's
and Aaron, his daughter is a big part of the program too, which I didn't know.
I didn't know that either. No,
I listened to that interview, and when you listen to the interview, the reason he went to Houston, was he could bring all of this family together.
Yeah,
and it's a great interview, and you need to listen to it. But no, I think Chino's left because he's not going to get any pleasure out of this now.
I mean, this is the last person I thought would come here and act like this after all the talks we've had with him over the years about Kelvin and Houston and how much we like them. And Hollis Price, Quantas White, probably my 2 favorite players growing up. I saw they're on their assistant coaches. Yes. I mean, it's Pedlo saying they came out after the game, and this is not any kind of hated rivalry. So.
No.
All right. Okay, so let's get out of here. I'm going to go Oakland Park race 4, number 5. Magic's going to go Laurel Park race 7, number 7. And you're going to go with Maris minus 3.5. This week record 5-4 with the sweep yesterday, up $55, up $1,270 for the year. And now the big question. Mustard in or out of the potato salad? What do you think, Papa?
Well, you don't like potato salad at all, do you?
I would not eat potato salad if you paid me $100.
Okay, so you're out of the equation. I like all kinds of potato salad.
Okay.
For the most part. Generally, I will take the mustard in because I've had that the most.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go in, but I can go out as well. So if I had to choose, it would be in.
All right.
I think it
Papa
makes
Dude
it
says.
prettier.
The governor of Oklahoma, the mayor of Oklahoma City, I should say, says mustard in only as well. Right. He was hanging out last night. This guy, he's hanging out with Hollis Price, Quantas White, Kelvin Sampson. I probably hung out with him all night. I mean, I
imagine they all went out to the Stoops' house, don't you?
Probably, yeah. I think they went out to Bob's house, hung out for a while. Yeah, he may have taken them to the plane today. I don't know if they flew or what. They probably flew. So anyway,
I got to ask Pedlo one question. Oh, I don't know about the onions in the potato salad.
He's onions in a potato salad. So I know Aaron won't eat them. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know that I like the onions that well. Pedlo, golly, I forgot what I was going to ask you.
Oh, well, this is bad because you only get one. You only get one question a day for the mayor. So,
dadgummit. What was I? It was a good one.
Well,
it was a good one. It's completely slipped my mind.
He'll be back. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I know.
He'll be back. All right. Final thing here. The retirement of Sting finally going to happen tonight. His last match coming up tonight. That'll probably be around 10 o'clock Central Time by the time they finally get him to the ring there. So Sting will retire tonight. It's been a hell of a career. If you don't follow it, in 2014, he suffered a serious injury. They said he'd never wrestle again. In 2020, he came back. His tag team partner, Darby Allin, convinced him, hey, you don't need to be a manager. Let's get in the ring. He's had a 3-year run in his middle 60s, and he's been fantastic. This will be it. So, yeah, big thank you, Sting, everybody, a couple people here commenting, and definitely, for sure, going to be excited to see that. And I was talking to Heather and I said, thank you, Darby Allin, is what we should be saying, because he really helped this guy, carried this guy through a lot of these last 3 years and made him look great still. So going to be a fun night in wrestling. All right, guys, we're leaving now. Everybody have a good rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you back here next week.